Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, Medical Director of BioCare Hospital. And today I'm very happy to be with you. I'm very happy to share a few words with you. And once again, to get into conversation, to review aspects of prevention, health, management of health problems, treatments, etc. The more we do, the more we know, the better off we're going to be. I'm a doctor. I have been a doctor for over 50 years, and I see patients all day, every day, year long, and it is so many times that I see somebody and you say, gee, I wish I would have met this person a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 months ago, because we could have made changes in their lives that would not have this person in the condition that he's in today, and we would be saving a lot of suffering, effort, money, freedom, because being in a hospital is being, tied to one's place, etc. We could have done so much for you if we only would have paid attention to things. And I'm going to talk about something that's very important. But first, let me tell you something that you already know. You do not have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a nurse or to go to medical school or anything. Any one of you knows what I'm going to tell you. Every single one of you. Because you listen to conversations, you talk to people, and they tell you, oh, I wish he would not have done this. Oh, I wish he would have taken care of this. Oh, I told him not to do the other. We know it. I mean, anyone that had a grandmother or a mother know about it. They were always telling you about this and that and that. If you don't do it, you're going to pay for it. But when you're young and healthy and strong, you don't believe it. So you do not pay attention. But it is a fact. People can tell you. And once again, mothers and grandmothers are first prize for doing that. Get some cover because it's cold, eat your veggies because they're going to be good for you, don't drink, don't smoke, etc., because you are going to pay for it. And one day, yes, we have to pay for it. And that is the problem. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Every time we talk about disease, every time I talk about these things, we always take it as if it was doom. Well, it's because my genes are not very good, so I'm sick because of that. Or it's because whatever. We never take responsibility of what's happening to us. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I want you to stop. I want you to stop doing everything you do. I want you to stop for a few seconds and think, how much of those words really apply to me? If they apply to me, the only one that has an answer for that is you yourself. You have to meditate, you have to think about it, and then you have to say, yeah, he's probably right. If I stop doing this, if I don't do that, if I start doing certain things, my health is going to be better. I get consultations every single day from people that just by looking at them, I know they're doing things wrong. Yesterday I saw a lady, and she tells me that she cannot sleep well, that she has changed her mood a lot, that it doesn't feel good, that blah, blah, blah. And of course, a mother of children, a housewife, and so on, who's taking care of the whole household, that affects the whole family. But when you start talking to the person, I mean, forget about laboratory anything. You're looking at the person and you can see the weight, you can see the general appearance, you see that she's nervous, that she's not in good shape, and then you start figuring out what's going on. And then the questions are very simple. Have you been gaining weight? Yes. Are you eating sugar by any chance? Yes. And you know, and I have said it many times, it's not about how you look when you gain weight. It's about what you're not giving your body when you gain weight. Because good food will not make you fat. Good eating habits will not make you fat. But if you're having sugar, if you're having soda pop, if you're eating every now and then, etc., 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 we have talked about it. We have talked about insulin resistance. And we can go for hours discussing metabolic problems that we have created. And that, of course, is going to give us one problem, one very important problem. We might be damaging the intestinal flora. And the intestinal flora is the one that produces serotonin. And serotonin is the one that gives me the good mood, the good sleep, the good everything. If I don't have enough serotonin, I'm not going to be happy at all. But if I eat junk food and if I have a lot of sugar and so forth, if I don't eat any fiber, that is what's going to happen. I'm going to be gaining weight. I'm not going to be doing serotonin. I'm going to feel very bad. I will not be able to concile my sleep. Because you know what? Serotonin is the precursor of melatonin that makes us sleep. So if you don't have good serotonin, you will not be able to sleep. And that goes again because a disrupted intestinal flora. So you have to follow the track to see what's happening. That's why today's conversation I have given the title of Backtrack to Health. I'm not asking you to go forward. I'm not going to see what's ahead of you. I don't want you to do any of this. Quite the opposite. Today, we're going to make an exercise of backtracking. I don't want to use too much the word backtracking because in today's computer world and logistics world, backtracking has a very specific meaning. But you know what I mean. What I say is we have to backtrack. We have to walk our own steps, walk them backwards to return to a certain point of our lives. Let's make an analogy. You're walking or you're driving because you want to reach a certain destination. And you're going, and all of a sudden, the pavement is over, and you're going over mud and stones and things, and you're afraid that your car is going to be damaged, and then you look at your map, or you Google it, as they do it today, and apart, like Google is not always right. So you have to use your own intelligence to make good use of a map or Google. But let's say you say, okay, this is not working. I'm going to ruin my car, I'm going to be lost, it's going to be dark, and I'm going to be afraid. What do? You backtrack. You have to drive back and find at what point in your journey you took the wrong turn. Because everybody tells you it's a beautiful highway and you're going to reach your destination with no problems. Oh, it's a divided highway, it's very well lit, has a lot of surveillance, you're going to be safe, you're not going to have any problem. Just drive and enjoy. And all of a sudden you see that it gets narrow, that it gets bumpy, that the pavement is over, that there are a lot of difficulties. Then you say, this is not right. What you do? You backtrack until you can find that wrong turn. And then you say, okay, here's where I turned the wrong way. But I can see that the road in this direction is nice and wide and beautiful. Or I can ask somebody. I can stop on a gas station and say, excuse me, sir, I'm going to this location. And he might tell you, no, you have to drive back. You have to drive back 20 miles, and then you're going to find a Y, and you take the left side. And that's going to take you to your destination. You're going in the wrong direction. And apparently, you're going forward because you're driving. You're eating miles. You're going very well, but you're going in the wrong direction. That's going to get you into trouble. Could it be simpler than that? So if you find yourself at this point in any situation in which you're not very happy with the way you feel, the way you function, the energy, the stamina, the mood, the everything you have, if you don't like it, if you have symptoms, pains and aches, and you're bloated, and you're constipated, and you're swollen, and anything you have in your life, you are not going in the direction that you want. You took a wrong turn somewhere. And you have to find where we went wrong. And the only way to do it is backtrack. Go back on your steps, on your own steps, and try to think what happened. Something as simple as, oh, I remember that when I got this promotion, I was making more money. And unfortunately, many people think that if you have more money in your pocket, you should eat worse. So I started going to nice restaurants and eating a lot and ordering a lot and having alcohol as an aperitif and alcohol with dinner and alcohol after and blah, 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 and stayed late and had fun with friends, etc. That is when everything started going wrong. So this is the type of analysis that we're going to do, because I'm going to tell you that if we backtrack and find the way, we switch to health. Stay with me. My friends, you're with Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, Medical Director of BioCare Hospital. And today we have a conversation, a one-to-one conversation. Thank you very much, by the way, for having me in your life, for listening to this podcast, to listen to these programs, because that puts you on the driver's seat, so to speak. Because that means you're using your time to educate yourself, to know more about your health, your well-being, your longevity. And I love that attitude. Not only I love it, but I'm all for it. You can go to the social media of your choice. You can go to our websites. You can contact me by phone. You can send me an email. Anything you want to get more information. Because you might be saying, yes, oh, this is great, this is good, but you might have a lot of doubts. Well, I wonder if this, or I wonder if that. You might have doubts. Or you might even be completely opposed to something. Well, I don't think that's really the answer, or I don't think that's really the way. Feel free to talk to me. Feel free to tell me what you think. Give me your comments. Write about them. And send them to me. I promise I will answer you personally, because I love people that are motivated enough to listen and then to think and meditate and to broaden their knowledge about how to take care of themselves. Because if these people play it right, you're going to live longer. Not only longer, but you're going to live healthier, stronger, with more energy, with more enjoyment. Because that's exactly what life is about. So, thank you for being with me today. And today we're talking about how many times, in order to resolve a problem, we have to back on our own steps. We're going in the wrong direction. We might not know exactly where we are, but we know this is not what I wanted for me in my life. I'm not going to where I want. Yes, I might be getting older. And as we get older, we have some more problems. But that might not be enough. That has been one of the bad excuses that even doctors give people to explain why they're having health problems. You say, well, doctor, I'm getting older. What's old? 50, 60, 80? I mean, when we're young, we think that a 45 person is elderly. So it's just a matter of perspective. But the truth is that we should be very active. We should be very bright, very focused, very everything, if we really take care of our bodies. So if you're not in that situation, if you see that you're gaining weight, you're not happy with the way you look, if you see that you have a lot of symptoms, that you have swelling, that you're bloated, that you're constipated, that you have acid reflux, that you cannot sleep, I'm telling you some of the most common symptoms that people experience as life goes on. And the problem is that many times these symptoms appear earlier in life. Right now, we're getting a lot of younger people, and by that I mean people in their 30s and 40s, with a lot of these symptoms that I'm telling you, in their 20s. I've seen many young people that we start talking about it's like simple problems, but you see that they have a bowel movement only twice a week. That's absolutely abnormal. You should move your bowels every single day because they are the reflection of the fiber, of the bacterial activity of your microbiome. And if that's not working, well, you're not going to have bowel movements. And when you have them, they're like stones. They just drop like lead on the toilet. That has to be corrected. I have seen many young people that have colonic surgery because they created some sort of a problem and they created a rupture and they created a very acute situation where they have to go to the emergency room and to the operating room as an emergency just because they didn't pay attention to those things. Nevertheless, what I'm talking about today is that anything that we have, when you think about it, you say, I never had this problem before. I remember when I was younger, I felt this way. I could walk so many blocks. I could go upstairs so many floors. I could do this, I could do the other. I felt like going out. I felt like playing with my children, etc., etc., etc. And all of a sudden, we start feeling that we're not the same person we used to be. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When we have the feeling that we're losing the track. And if we go to the simple explanation that this is just because we're getting older, well, you're going to be getting more and deeper and deeper into the problem that really bothers you. No, you have to get out of it. You have to stop and say, this is not the way I want to live. This is not the way I want to feel. I'm not the person I really want to be. I want to be somebody else. I want to be the person that I was 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. How can I do that? You have to backtrack. First, you have to stop. You have to go to standstill that will let you analyze everything. Lay down in your bed and think about your body, and move your fingers and move your knees and see what bothers you. Feel your tummy. Explore your body. See if you don't have any lumps, any things, and whatever. Just let's rule out while we're going at it, let's rule out other problems. But nevertheless, what I want you to do is see where your body is, how it feels. And if you don't like what you feel, what you see, then you have to start backtracking. You have to say, I want to see where I went wrong. I must have done something wrong. And maybe something that we eat, how much physical activity we develop, how we communicate to our friends, how they perceive us. And you can get a good friend or your spouse and say, do you feel I'm the same person? And let's talk honestly, candidly, without any feeling. I'm not asking you to tell me you love me. I'm asking you to tell me from your personal perspective, how do you feel I am doing? And some things are very easy to tell. We can't sleep anymore. We just go to bed, we cannot concile sleep, and if we do, it's going to last very short time, and we don't feel good, and next day we're in bad mood, and etc., etc. That's telling me that you do not have melatonin, you're not producing at the right time, it's not being well treated. And if you follow me, you can find a podcast about sleep and melatonin and those things. But melatonin is triggered by serotonin. Serotonin is the happy chemical. Is the hormone that makes us feel good. But that is made in the gut. And I know for many people it is, how come something that's so important for the brain, it's made in the gut? Because you probably have heard the expression that our gut is our second brain. It has a lot to do with the way our brain functions. So, backtrack means I'm going to review when I started doing things that were not good for me. When I started drinking, when I started having refined sugar a lot, when I started eating more than what I should and I started gain weight, when I stopped moving. Because I went from my office to my car, to the shopping mall. I get upset if I don't find a place right at the entrance, etc. We don't do anything. We don't do house cleaning. We don't mow the lawn. Many people today live in small apartments where you say, what do I do? Get a vacuum cleaner and move. The human body was made for movement. So if we start finding any of those things, you're going exactly in the direction I want you to go. I want you to backtrack and find out when you stop doing good things for your body. Because that's the time, if you find where you took the wrong turn, if you can get to that point, then you're going to be able to switch. You follow me? You are going to be able to switch to the right pathway, to the better eating, to the more physical activity, to the enjoyment of food with fiber, with green leafy vegetables, You will understand that you can do a lot of things for yourself that will not cost you money, because you have to buy food anyway, but will let you explore different ways to live that are going to be very enjoyable. What about cooking? What about doing this? What about doing the other? And then you're going to see, yeah, I can change my life. I feel different. I can relate to people in a different way. And all of a sudden, I'm not bloated anymore. I don't have an acid reflux. My knees work a lot better. My pains are going away. The swelling of my ankles is reducing. In few words, I'm changing my life for the better. And I'm now ready to go and enjoy the rest of my life. Stay with me. Let's keep on talking. I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, Medical Director of BioCare Hospital. I'm trying to convince you today that you do not need a doctor, you don't need laboratories, you don't need anything like that to start making a very good analysis of, am I going in the right direction health-wise? Am I working in the right direction to be healthy and function well? Or something is wrong? And the best way to know is let your body talk. And the more it talks, the more talkative your body is, probably it's telling you something. It's that you're not going in the right direction. I was telling you, if I'm driving and I have a destination and everybody told me that this is a very nice road, very full of trees and colors changing because of the autumn and the whole thing, and all of a sudden I start seeing mud, narrow, no more pavement anymore, and it's getting darker, the smart thing to do is to stop and backtrack and find where I took the wrong turn. And that's what we can do with our health. Well, I'm not happy with the way I feel. Many times, you don't even have to completely go back to where you went wrong. Many times, just by stopping doing things that you shouldn't be doing is going to be working on your behalf. Let's say that, well, I've been listening to Dr. Rodriguez and I have followed some of the podcasts and I have heard about sugar and insulin resistance or fatty liver and those things, and you start thinking, well, it might be a good idea to stop using added sugar in my food. That's going to change your life. You are beginning to do something wrong. Or I heard or I have read about vegetable oils, that I should go for natural oils. Don't get yourself immersed into the discussion of saturated, unsaturated, blah, blah, blah. That's for somebody else to think about. We are people. We go to the market, we cook, we feed our family. What should be my choices? My choices should be the fats that God gave me, lard and tallow and butter, olive oil. Olive oil was in the Last Supper. At Jesus' table, they have olive oil. That should be good food for me. So forget about any guy from a laboratory telling me that he knows best. No, I know who I can trust. And the more we know, the more we advance, we see that those things are right. That all of those that told us that these fats were bad, that we should cut down in fats, etc., that they were wrong. Everyone that told us that we should have low-fat milk, well, ignored the fact that God made milk whole. So that's the milk we should be eating. And when you start doing this simple analysis of things, then you are actually going backwards. I want to eat the way my mother or my grandmother ate, to have access to those wholesome, natural, fresh foods that they had access to. And I'm going to look for them. I'm going to look for organic. So by doing that, I'm beginning to prevent. I'm going to feel better, but I'm going to begin to prevent. Because if I stop smoking today, I could be preventing a lung cancer or a cancer anywhere else in the body, because cigarette smoking produces cancer, period. Yes, the most obvious is in the lung, but it produces cancer anywhere in the body because it damages the defense mechanism for cancer in the whole body. So people who smoke are more prone to develop cancer, period. So if I stop smoking today, I'm beginning to help myself. If I cut added sugar, I'm helping myself. If I get rid of vegetable oils and go for natural fats, I'm beginning to help myself. If I start exercising and moving and doing things and vacuum cleaning and moving the furniture and doing the dishes and walking upstairs and walking around the parking lot instead of parking in the entrance, walk a little bit more, etc., I'm helping myself. Now think if you put all of them together. Think what's going to happen with your life if you say, okay, let's take those examples. I'm going to begin getting rid of sugar, refined sugar. I'm going to get rid of vegetable oils. I'm going to start eating more fiber. I'm going to start exercising and moving. And I'm going to be getting rid of toxic substances like tobacco or alcohol. I'm going to start today. And I'm going to I'm going to face head on the challenge of whatever withdrawal symptoms I might have. I'm going to pray for strength. I'm going to be there. I'm going to do what I know is going to be good for my body. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be a new you. Because you already went back to the way you should be living. Because that's the way we are born. We are born without any artificial foods. We are born without any added sugar. We're born without any coloring, flavoring, hormone addition, etc. in food. We're born to be breastfed and live in a lot of cleanliness. And that's what babies develop. And we have to keep on that track. And if we went in the wrong direction, it's never, never late to make a stop, go back, and take the right way. I have told you, and I have said it many times, for example, many people say, "Doctor, but I have lung cancer. Why should I stop smoking?" Because if you stop smoking, the inflammation, the chronic inflammation in your body is going to diminish. And the treatments, whatever you do, are going to be with a lot more chances to work. Many people don't know. Many doctors will not tell you. But if you have a high inflammatory index, not even the conventional anti-cancer therapies can work. So you're defeating yourself from the beginning. You're paying a lot of money for very fancy treatment. But that inflammation you're creating with your cigarette smoking is going to defeat the action of that drug in your body. That's why it's important to stop smoking. It's never late. I've seen many people that tell me, doctor, but I have this serious illness. Why should I make any changes? Because when they do, they find a lot of health, a lot of well-being. And you know what? I have had many people that have lived years, and I might add, very happy, productive years to their lives because they backtracked and started going in a different direction. We have to switch. It's not good enough to mend. I hate when doctors say, well, at least don't smoke that much. If you smoke 10 cigarettes, smoke 5. That's not a good solution, because still you're going to be creating a chronic inflammatory pattern. And that's not going to help you. So, I mean, if you want to keep on doing whatever you want to do, okay. As long as you understand and you say, I don't care, doctor. But don't ask me, does it serve any purpose? Because the answer is yes, it serves a purpose. So, what we're going to do is we're going to backtrack. We're going to stop and backtrack. Because first and foremost, we're going to be preventing disease. And that prevention, that diminishing of inflammatory markers, that diminishing of insulin activity, that increase insulin sensitivity in these cells, that increase in oxygenation to the blood and increased blood flow, etc., all that together is going to create well-being. Our intestinal flora is going to provide us with wonderful things. Our intestinal flora is going to provide us with excellent nutrients. Many vitamins, people don't know, but many vitamins of the body are produced or carried to the system because of the activity of the bacteria in the gut. So we have a new organ, a new found organ in our intestinal bacteria, in our microbiome, that works along with the liver, with the lung, with the kidneys. It's another organ that produces a lot of well-being. But all of a sudden, you start feeling different. You start saying, yes, this is working. It has taken me a long time and a lot of effort to convince people that the way you live will reflect in the quality of your life, will prevent disease, will help you to heal damaged organs or functions in the body so they can work again on your behalf, so they can support other organs and other functions. And that all those changes in your lifestyle are going to make away with symptoms, that you're going to feel a total new person if you follow that. So I want you to listen carefully, to stay with me. We still have more things to tell you. I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, Medical Director of BioCare. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about BioCare. BioCare implies caring for all the biological functions of your body. BioCare means a proactive attitude in helping your body to function the way it should be working, and to have surveillance over which way your body works, and to be very careful in how you provide for your body. Care is a proactive verb. It's not a wait and see. It is not observation. It is not anything like that. It is be very active in making sure that things happen, in following up, in compliance, in obedience, in treating the body as what the body is. A wonderful gift, because life is a wonderful gift, and we should take care of it, and we should know about it, and we should be respectful of that body. We cannot just pour anything we want in it. We cannot just make it do whatever pleases us. We have to make sure that this body of ours is well taken care of. And the best way to do it is by learning about it. Education is power. And if we have the knowledge, and if we use our time, and thank you very much for being there, because you're using your time to learn more about your body and the care of your body. And if you're in that direction, then you will know how to do this body of ours last longer, function better, look fantastic. Because of course we all love when people tell us, oh, you look so good. But that doesn't happen with cosmetics. That doesn't happen with injections. That doesn't happen with surgery. That happens with BioCare. With taking care of your body, of your skin, of your complexion, of your hair, your nails, your body. But what about the inner you? Your brain, your heart. All that works in symphony. One organ with the next. Every time you help one part, you're helping the whole body. If you start changing the way you eat, if you start changing the way you eat, if you start changing your physical activity patterns and so forth, you're helping every single cell of your body, from head to toe. And that's exactly what we are talking about today. We're talking about stop doing what you're doing. And see what of those things that you're doing are not conducive to a healthy you. And backtrack. See where did you go wrong. And this is very important. It's not as important as, I don't want to say, you stop doing this, now you do that. No, you have to backtrack to the point where you went in the wrong direction. Because that's going to be the best guarantee that you will not do it again. You're going to say, okay, I remember when I started doing this, when I started doing that. I thought it was fancy. Somebody told me that if you have a nice martini, and then wine with food, and then a few drinks of cognac, you might do it on your birthday, but that cannot be your lifestyle. Cigarette? No excuse for that. Not even your birthday, not even New Year, not even the change of millennia. Do not smoke, and don't stay close to smokers. Get them out of your life. I have people that call me and tell me, and they think, you know what, doctor, it sounds very nice, it sounds very easy, I understand what you're saying, I simply cannot do it. I don't know exactly where to start, I don't know where to buy the food you're talking about, I think this is too complicated for me, etc. And then it's when I tell you, why don't you give me a call? Why don't you tell me about the problems? Why don't we discuss a BioCare health getaway? Pack your things. Make small packet. Get your suitcase, jump on a plane, come to BioCare Hospital. Why? Because this is going to be a place where the whole environment is going to help you. Where doctors and nurses and fellow patients are going to talk about the same thing. And are going to tell you about things. And we're going to show you what to eat, how to rest, how to sleep, how to fight inflammation, how to replace nutrients, because one thing brings the other. When we start eating the wrong foods, not only we don't feel good, not only we can damage our body, but we're not providing the body with all the nutrients that it needs. And I've seen it over and over again. You know, during the pandemic, we thought we were healthy and strong. And oh no, the United States of America, people are in good shape. Well, when the pandemic came and we saw the people that were falling and we checked them out, it turns out that they were deficient in vitamin D. People with good levels of vitamin D survived and did a lot better during the pandemic than people that have low levels of vitamin D. Well, if we are a nation, that's a rich nation, that's the first world, how come we have people with deficiencies? And vitamin D is something that if you look around and you check it out today, you're going to find that most people do not have a good level of. Why? Because of lifestyles. I mean, we don't plow the land. We go in a nice big machine, air conditioned, glass, etc. That's if you work in the field. But most of us work in an office and drive to that office. And we don't walk out. We don't get sunlight. And you know what else? As you get old, even if you get sunlight, you do not produce the same amount of vitamin D. And I could go on and on. Minerals are big deficiencies in America. Magnesium is number one deficiency. Potassium is low. Because, again, not only we do not eat what we should eat, but even if we try, many of those things that we are buying at the supermarket come from a field that has been overexploited. And a defeated soil means a depleted food, and that means depleted you. When you're going to be at BioCare Hospital, we're a full hospital. We have registered nurses and doctors and so forth. So we check it all out. And we're going to be able to replace those deficiencies, that magnesium, that potassium, that vitamin D, that everything, your B12, B6, all those things, literally overnight. Because being a hospital, we can do it intravenously. We can identify the deficiencies. And then we can target the supplementation. Give your body what your body needs in a very short period of time. And I can tell you how many times I have heard people smiling, telling me, "Doctor, why didn't I hear about this before?" And if you go to our site, you're going to be able to share the experiences of many former patients that have been here. We all take vacation. We all go to places because we want to catch up, we want to feel better. And then we go to a place where we're going to be drinking and overeating and sleeping and laying down by the pool and doing nothing. And when we come back, you've heard it, you have heard it many times. When we come back, we need a vacation to recoup from vacation. Don't do that. Once a year, once every 2 years, just pack a little suitcase, come down to the BioCare Health Getaway and spend a week, a couple of weeks, come with your spouse, and spend that time together. And you're going to be having, of course, a lot of nice things like facial and massage and so forth, but most importantly, you're going to be getting a complete assessment of what is your health condition today, where things went wrong, and how we can put them back in the right track. And by the help of all these things, when you go out, you're going to feel different. You're going to look different. I always tell my patients, don't take it from me. When you get home, many people are going to tell you, you look fantastic. What did you do? Because health is beauty. If you're healthy, you look beautiful. So do yourself a favor. Pack things and say, this vacation time, I'm going to invest it in the most important possession that I have, which is my body, my health, my well-being. I'm going to bring my body back to where my body should be. I'm going to make sure that it continues to give me years of strength and stamina and enjoyment. And the only way I can do it is I literally take it very serious. I have to be very serious about it. I'm not kidding about it. I'm not joking about it. I'm not going to do applying patches to problems. I'm going to take it all together, because when I do it all together, the feeling is fantastically good. So take my word for it. Take the hand of your spouse. Give us a call. Tell us what's happening. And plan a BioCare Health getaway with us. You will love the results. You will love what will happen to you. Till next time, I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, Medical Director of BioCare Hospital.